What's going on, guys? I want to welcome you back yet again for 2 years running. We've got a fun episode today as we celebrate the 2-year anniversary of the Snapchat. I want to thank you guys for coming each and every week. We're going to talk about Anti-Venom, a giant boom or bust card with a lot of potential, but can also fall flat, let's be honest. We're going to talk synergies and our overall thoughts about the newest card. And then also, we used to say this card got leadered. Now it's this card got stormed. A super confusing OTA. Alex and I are going to break down our thoughts on the latest balance patch, and then we're going to lean into the second anniversary. We got a special segment for you guys to end today's episode, and we're going to talk about that all today, once again, on the Snapchat. And as always, for over 700 days, because I can barely do the math, 2 years, I'm joined by Mr. Alex Kocha, who's been in my life for the last 2 years, and if you're listening, we've been, I guess, in your life for over 2 years too. And guys, what an awesome thing. What a cool thing to have every single Monday, kind of Thursday too, right? Was it Thursday or Fridays that we were on before Mondays? It was like a brief period of time.
Yeah, I think we started on Thursdays, to be honest with you. Then we switched when the OTA schedule came out, and it didn't make sense to be on Thursday anymore. I think that was the moment. Yeah, I think it was a couple of weeks of that for sure.
That's right. So every Monday and or some Thursdays, Alex and I have been doing the Snapchat, and today's the second anniversary. We got obviously a super fun episode planned. Some tier lists. We're going to be reliving the greatest moments of the Snapchat, little montage. And, you know, I got to say, man, putting together the montage, I forgot a lot of what we've done. Like, you know, a perfect example of this is we're doing a Halloween candy tier list today, and people were like, you've already done that. And I was like, we have? Like, I always don't remember half the stuff that comes out of our mouth over here, probably for the better. But all I know, man, is I'm a better person for doing 2 years of this, man.
I can't believe that it's been 2 years, and I'm looking forward to 2 more years and 2 more years after that. Like, this has been such a staple in my life, and it's one of those things I am proud of us because it takes a lot of effort to coordinate schedules and make it such a priority that we've never missed a beat, we've never missed a week, and there's not many podcasts that can say that. It is a lot of work to do it, and I think it just showcases how important this is for both of us. Yeah. And I would still do this even if no one was watching, because this is my chance to talk to one of my best friends, you know what I mean? And that's why I really hold sacred this time that we have, because it's very special. It's very special what we have here, and I'm so appreciative to both you and our audience.
I remember when we started, like, no one was watching, right, for the first couple, and we were like, you know what, who cares? Like, this is a time to just talk unfiltered Marvel Snap, maybe sometimes filtered a little bit, but, you know, for the most part, just talking amongst friends, and hopefully that's what we, you know, try to make the atmosphere of the Snapchat, is that you guys feel like you're just kind of invited to the conversation, if you will. And the cool thing is, man, Alex and I, we got a lot more coming. I'm just excited for the next 2 years. Listen, Snap's amazing, whether it's Snap, whether it's a new endeavor. All I know is me and you, buddy, not only friends for a lifetime, but also, co-hosts and doing things together. And hopefully, as long as, I was going to say as long as people are listening, but we've already stated, who cares? We'll just talk to each other, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really special. And I have so much fun doing this. I can't imagine a world where I'm not doing this. And I can't even imagine if I were to go back in time, it's like, would I do anything differently? No, I wouldn't. Like, this is by far the most special thing I do every single week.
I mean, the bromance level is over 9,000, guys. You can feel it through the screen. I mean, from the early days of Alex doing the death stare, if you guys were here in the early days where Alex would look straight down the camera like this. We've done it all here on the Snapchat, but the last subject of today is going to be all about it. I can't wait to do that with you guys. But today, we're going to be talking about Anti-Venom. We're going to start with a little Snapchat, Snap Talk, and then we're going to be going from there. We got a new logo, by the way, guys, so I'm excited to premiere that as well. But Alex, Anti-Venom. We also have got the OTA from hell, the head-scratching OTA. A lot to talk about over here. What are we talking about on your side for the 2 year?
Cozy, we're going to be talking about Toxin in review, giving our impressions, talking about the stats, and giving our general thoughts on whether or not this is a card worth having in your collection. And then for the 2 year anniversary, we had to go back to one of our absolute favorite topics, the ones we enjoy the most. So it's our favorite at every cost. Absolutely love talking about our favorite cards this season, and we're going to be talking about that. And then a special edition of the 2 year anniversary Snapchat mailbag.
We should also do with our favorite cards of every cost. Let's try to do our favorite cards of all time. I know we haven't even prepped for that, but like favorite cards of all time at every cost, through the nerfs, through the buffs, almost like looking back, man. I mean, I know we're just going to hear Captain Marvel and Arrow, but maybe there'll be some ones that jump out at you. But let's talk about the upcoming Anti-Venom. I don't know about you, this month has felt very long. There's been so many new cards, man. Short in the aspect of high voltage made things a bit, quick and different, but long as in we got another card coming out, and it's the last card this month, an Anti-Venom. It's a 4-cost, updated 7 power. This is important because in the before that it was a 6 power. They've upped it to 7 with the ability on reveal. You're going to set the cost and power of your deck's top card to 0. Now, before we get to him, the spotlight is going to be Super Giant and Ghost Spider. So you definitely know that's just that's an awful week of spotlight. It feels like the last few weeks of spotlights have been pretty horrible.
Like, there's nothing good about that spotlight cache at all. I am personally completely shocked that Super Giant didn't get patched OTA or nothing.
I know. Yeah.
Like, that is so bizarre. Like, did they forget this card was coming? Like, who's going to spend tokens on this card? And, like, I don't mind the card. I'm one of, like, I don't mind Super Giant, but I will admit that the card's not good. You know what I mean? It's not, especially with the change to Taskmaster, right? Like, Taskmaster was one of the key combos with that card, and now it's not even a 5-cost. So it's like the card is completely dead in the water. I don't know, man. Maybe some people will start cooking with it when they get it, but... And then you have Ghost Spider. Like, I actually like Ghost Spider, but Series 4 card, which should be Series 3 in December for sure, by the way. Like, it's a good card, but come on, man.
Ghost Spider at this point feels like Jean Grey. I feel like I've seen her in the spotlights 1,000 times, right? Like, it doesn't get me excited to use my spotlight keys, if you will. But Anti-Venom, in my opinion, might be one of the toughest cards to evaluate. I feel like this has the definition, at least, I mean, maybe you feel different. A good chunk of me wants to say there's a lot going against this card, but there's also a piece of me, Alex, I don't know if you feel this way, that's like, is this one of those cards that, like, people skip on and it ends up just being incredible, right? like it's interesting, and there's so much to break down because there's so many different synergies that can work with this card. There's plenty of boom potential and even more bust potential. And so I, for one, am excited. Let's kick it off. Star ratings. This was tough for me. What do you have it?
So originally I was at 3 stars,
okay,
and my new notes have it at 2 stars. I wanted to drop it to 2 stars because I lost a little faith. And then they buffed it to a 4.7, which means it sucked, right?
Yeah,
like, let's be honest. It means that it sucked, right? So they buff it to a 4.7. I'm looking at the 4.7 stat line. I'm like, well, Misery's 4.8, and I still don't want to play that. You know what I mean? So I wonder about this. You're right. There's so much combo potential, but there's so much bust potential. And so, like, I get very hesitant about this card. I'm leaning towards 2 still, despite the buff, because I've started to lose confidence in that this combo will ever have any sort of significance. And some of the early decks I've been trying to design with it, I'm like, yeah, these decks work with Anti-Venom, but I don't think they're good decks.
It's, what's puzzling is, and I'll give my star in a second, is it's like in almost every situation, I think Iron Lad is just the better card between the two of them, and that you don't even have to play the card that Iron Lad copies, which means you could play him on 6, right? Because of his ability, obviously that means that we lose the last turn of the game, so you have that activate kind of thing going against him right off the rip. 4.7 means for sure, then bumping it up, yeah, no question, he was underperforming. Like, we've seen this before, this is nothing new. He was underperforming. However, in certain decks, I'm going to try to be a believer here. I am. And this is one of those, like, I have no problem. In review, we look at it. Oh my God, Cozy, you went too high on it. I just feel like there's potential here. And it's mainly because of Iron Lad. Even if Iron Lad's a better card, I think that we've seen, and it's been proven, that style of play, it works. Now, don't buy him. This is the ultimate, right? Can you agree here? This is the ultimate wait and see kind of card.
Yeah. 100%. Like, if you're buying this FOMO day one, then like you deserve to lose your resources. Like, you need to wait here. Like, I can't be nice about it, man. Like, this is literally the card you cannot possibly buy on day one. Like, Toxin, you like balance, you buy it. Scorn, you like discard, you buy it, right? This, man, I don't care what you like, you wait.
A lot of synergies to go into, a lot to talk about here, Alex. I'll go ahead and let you kick it off here, man. Let's start with decks, and we can talk about individual cards too. Where do you see him working?
Okay, we want to talk about decks where I think it might actually work. Hear me out on Wong Odin, okay? On reveal. I was thinking about this a lot. And I was thinking about what are cards that have really high impact but low power? Or high power, very high impact. And don't mind even being a 0. Forget about Luke Cage. I don't even want to run Luke Cage. I don't care, right? And I was thinking about, okay, if you hit Wong with Anti-Venom, Okay, you're maybe a little slow, but you can still set up a combo because Wong, 0 cost, 0 power, right? You hit White Tiger, you hit Ironheart, right? These are all good hits. You hit Odin. Yeah, okay, you're losing power there, but suddenly you have an immediate double proc on the on reveal. And I had this thought of like, I think that on reveal might actually like this card because everything that it hits, I think it'll do a good job of actually generating some power. Now, I don't have a finalized list yet, and this might be pure cope, but if you want to think outside the box, I don't think anyone's been talking about on reveal, and I suspect it might actually be good there.
Okay, I want to visit on reveal, but let's talk Luke Cage for a second because I think you brought up a great point. Right away, you see the ability of him going from 0 cost. You get the Wrath card, but 0 power. So you said it perfectly. That's what I've got on my notes. You know, great ability, low power cards are going to benefit the best. And I think outside of a couple builds, I don't think you run Luke Cage. As crazy as that seems in a lot of these, Luke Cage would then be the bust potential in that build, right? He could end up being the 0/0, which is fine if that's what the deck wants to do in the first place. We've seen it before where you build decks around cards where it kind of always works. There's always going to be this kind of plus side. And there are so many cards like on reveal or decks like ones I'm going to mention in a moment that almost no matter what you hit, it's going to benefit. And I feel like you almost have to ride with that, right? Like Iron Lad, every now and then you could be a bit greedy because he can copy Korg and you're still getting the 4/6 kind of thing, you know, but then you try to go for the Darkhawk or the Doctor Doom, things like that. You're going to treat this almost the same way. Now, Luke Cage could have a home in it, but if he doesn't fit in the deck, I don't think it's the worst thing, right? I think you go all in on this kind of ability.
I was leaning towards like, what if we don't use Luke Cage? What if we don't change this into a 2-card combo? What if we don't use Howard? What if we just let this card do its thing on curve and we don't build completely around it like we try to do all the time? Like we get these new cards and we build entire decks that like they feel like houses of cards, right? Where it's like, okay, I want this one thing to happen, so I'm going to put this card and this card and this card. And the deck sucks, right? Because it's like you're diluting the power of the deck. Yeah, Luke Cage is a good card, sure. But I'm just saying that if you have a bunch of targets that only care about the power of their effects and not necessarily the power of themselves, like Wong, Ironheart, Odin, White Tiger, suddenly you don't need Luke Cage. That's kind of where my thought process was, and that's kind of where I'm leaning towards right now. I got some other stuff I'd like to talk about too, but I was trying to say, okay, what do we do without Luke Cage, and what can we do with like a high impact kind of play with that 0 cost and 0 power card?
I mean, because if you look at it, the worst thing he has going for him is that he's a 4 cost, right? So he's a pretty late play. It's kind of in that War Machine. That's what scares me the most about him, right? War Machine had this cool ability, but because he was a 4, you had to use him at this certain turn, and then it felt kind of weird at that point. So what's nice is he's a 4/7, so his power's not bad. You want to play him later anyway because your deck is thinner and you can see what's in there that he can possibly hit. He's got that for him. You can't play him on 6. So this is one of those cards that you have to play on 4 or 5 unless you ramp out early, right? Like, let's just call what that is right away. Luckily, his impact can be used right away. You know, you get that card happening. He takes a hit from not being able to play that turn 6. But other than that, there's tons of cards that are fine being a 0/0. Like an absolute no problem. You just brought up the Wong and the Odin or the White Tiger. All those perfect examples. Even Doctor Doom. 0/0, technically you're looking at least a 0/10, you know, and you can work from there. But you went the on reveal route. For me, I was looking at both the Tribunal package, the ongoing package. I try to do ongoing stuff because Onslaught, mine went to Odin, mine went to Onslaught. A 0/0 Onslaught, I'm like, whatever, I can still kind of work off that. And then what's in there as well, you know, typically you got the Iron Man, you've got the Tribunal. You've got things you want to do anyway.
I'm not even convinced this is a good Tribunal card, if I can be totally honest with you, right? I think that Tribunal's pop-off with Magic is sufficient, and I don't think you need the 0 cost. And so, like, I've been trying to figure out, like, okay, what can we do with something like Blink? If you have, like, a very, like, ramp-heavy style deck, right? You run your Electros, you have your Blinks, like, you run that style deck, and you use Anti-Venom as a backup play. Like, you know when you're building an Electro Wave deck, and you don't have a good play on turn 4 because you didn't draw into your ramps? I feel like Anti-Venom is a good play on 4 that gives you like, oh, look, I just top decked well, unfortunately in that case, it could be your Wave or Electro, but oh, I just top decked my Odin. I just top decked my Doctor Doom or whatever. And then you could play in a way where like you have this opportunity to like utilize these really big power plays, like maybe even a leader, right? These cards that would really benefit from being pulled out of Blink anyways. You're playing them, and the Anti-Venom is simply just like the icing on the cake, if you understand what I'm saying.
I do. That's so my thought process is typically Jubilee, Blink. These were used like, let's take it back to the Hella days, right? Where it's like you're trying to get these big power cards, and instead what we're trying to do with this deck now is get these big ability cards, and then how can you combine those to really pop off, right? And then you do want the Iron Lad. You know, example I have is, and again, the deck builds will make themselves as we go, but let's say Patriot, right? Patriot's a great example. You have Patriot, you have Blue Marvel. These are cards that you can not only pull out, but if you get an Iron Lad to hit those, fantastic. Doom can be in that deck as well. All right, and so all of a sudden now we have Patriot, Mystique, Doom, and things like Iron Man even that can all benefit off of Iron Lad and or Anti-Venom. It's a much different look. It's a much different feel of a deck that it's tough for me, bro. I feel like Zabu and Psylocke might be the ones that you always have in the deck rather than Electro and stuff, right? Like you always would run Zabu at this point because you benefit off the potential cost reduction, or you Psylocke into it, and that's your opening turns.
Yeah, so Zabu's huge, and obviously with the change to Storm as well, now you have like even more 4-drops that like you might want to even play there. So I do agree. I feel like this was like kind of like a Zabu card to some degree. I still don't think Zabu's great. I still think it has like a few question marks around its viability.
Man, it's interesting because as you want to add in other cards to help Anti-Venom, we've seen this problem before, they can then be affected by Anti-Venom, which kind of sucks, right? Like if Zabu's that top card at that point, it definitely loses its luster a little bit. But you need to build that deck to do consistent outside of it. So maybe that's, you know, Miss Marvel, which is another card that is not the end of the world if you have her at a 0/0. It's cards that you can put together, and it might be Force. Force is an awkward cost right now because of where Zabu's at. But my belief is there's enough cards. I mean, we have more to go through here, but there's enough cards that at 0/0, it should work in a couple of builds.
No, there's no question it will, but the problem is you're going to have situations where Anti-Venom's going to hit like these side cards that you don't want it to hit. Like you have the targets, right? But you can't make your entire deck Anti-Venom targets. That's not how the deck building works, right?
And I get what you're saying too, and that's why I think this is such a puzzling card is, does this card work out how we feel like it will? But then we have the devs buffing it, which makes us a bit nervous on it altogether. And there's other question marks in the air. To me also, though, I feel like this could be a very... I mean, we talk Iron Man, right? So talking Iron Man is one of our favorites right off the bat. Mr. Negative, is this another support card for a Mr. Negative type build? Forget Tribunal at that point. You could run that if you want to. But this is another card where it's like, well, gee, this is where you do want maybe Psylocke or Zabu, and then you go with Negative, Anti-Venom. You've got the Iron Man. You have Cassandra Nova, Ironheart. These are cards, Sage, whatever, Arnim Zola, Blob, Null. You know the classics we talk about with the 0 power, good ability cards. The cards that are with Negative, it's not him to replace them, but the cards that are with Negative want to be with Anti-Venom probably anyway. And you're probably going to either win those games or lose them. So when I was saying, does he even need to be in there? It's like, does he make him more consistent, or is it just worthless at that point too, right? Like if you don't pull Negative, well, at least you get the 0 Iron Man, and then you can work off that. Or if you don't pull Negative, whatever. Or if you get the Psylocke and you do get, Anti-Venom, and then you get the 0/0 negative on 4, well, hey, then you have that play too. Like, this is just a hard card to evaluate. It is. The bottom line is, how many decks can we put together where 0/0 is not this massive downside, and it's almost always either a neutral play or better, right? There's reasons we don't play Howard the Duck. He can't fit in the 12. There's only 12 cards. Can Anti-Venom do enough to make it in the 12 list, and or does he have to be partnered with certain cards? I mean, that's what we're going to find out.
It is incredibly hard from a deck building perspective, and like another kind of another archetype and general card that might be able to work with it. I was thinking about like Destroy, but mostly like if you think about Negative, you think about those like Arnim Nola style decks, right? I think that you were one of the first ones to release a video on that on Marvel Snap's launch, like the Arnim Nola style list, and like those types of decks are interesting because you're talking about like Null, which does not care about that being 0 power, Zola, which generally does not care about being 0 power, and then you can be in a situation where maybe you run an Arnim Nola style deck with Anti-Venom and Mr. Negative, and now they're kind of working together because while you were talking, I kind of realized that like, okay, Yeah, maybe that's like the type of deck that where they can go in together, because you are right. Like, you don't care about those cards being 0 power at all, and you're still working into the negative game plan.
Yeah.
I can see that, and it's a backup plan because you know about Mr. Negative. He's at the bottom of the deck, right? So,
Yeah. I mean, it's ongoing. Really, the only things I can see him in successfully, and where I'm going to try him is ongoing, like you said, on reveal. Patriot does go with ongoing, but in these Patriot blends, Hela is actually really interesting because Hela is a deck where Luke Cage isn't shoved in there for the hell of it. Luke Cage is in there to help out Hela, and then if you happen to get Anti-Venom, dude, how cool is that? If you happen to get Anti-Venom, because you get all of these big power cards that want to be in there anyway. Hela's going to do her thing. It could actually work in a Hela deck as well. Those are the main places, I see them.
There is one more thing I want to mention, and I kind of came across this, and this is like the X Factor call out here, because I was preparing for a future video, and I came across Frigga, and it's the 3/3 that's been data mined, which on reveal adds a copy of your last card you play to your hand. And so if you think about it, you play Agent Venom, right? You get a 0/0, let's say it's Doctor Doom. You play that 0/0, and then you play Frigga, and it comes back to your hand. And in theory, it should come back as a 0/0, no?
No, it will. You know what's so funny is you can tell we've been doing this for 2 years. Here's the thing. I had on my notes, because I was like, Devil Dinosaur, who's never going to, be like quite in the meta again. But I was like, oh, Devil Dinosaur and in Moon Girl, because I was like, oh, you get that 0 cost, and you can try to copy with Moon Girl, but by that point, it's too late, right? So I'm like, that won't work. And then I was like, Frigga. Frigga's coming out, and that's kind of, a lot of the answer. Overall, my main worries are that he is 4, so you have 2 turns to make it work. Iron Lad works because you have 3 turns to make it work, and that's going to be the biggest downfall for him. And I think that's where the main reason why we saw him take that big hit or go up in power is because of that. But does he take one of these decks to the next level? I think he does land around like a 3-star.
It's hard to say. I've been thinking about him like in the same scope of like what Pixie does and how Pixie plays. Whereas like there's like the one deck where Pixie pops off on, and then like, it's inconsistent, but it has its moments.
Yep.
I feel like Pixie's probably a good comparison here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get a really good card for relatively inexpensive. I feel like they kind of have the same attack vector. And so maybe we were kind of incorrect to not add Pixie to the, hey, probably similar list.
Listen, they're RNG cards, and if history has shown us, you look at Iron Lad, you look at Pixie, those are RNG cards, and they've worked. They've worked pretty successfully. Pixie took some time, and I think I was one of the few that liked Pixie, and it took some time. And you know who's another one that took some time was Cersei, another RNG card. People didn't like her, and now they do. Cersei has been played more, and we've seen actually some of the top players rely on Cersei for these big pop-off plays at the end. So could he fall in that category? Will he fall, in a niche, if you play Mr. Negative build? We'll have to see. Them taking him up a high point is what's concerning. And ultimately, I think he does have some pretty cool synergies. All right, Alex, due to popular demand, we got the candy tier list. And I'm going to be honest, people asked, or people told us that we've already done this. This is something that's already happened. But the good news is I barely remember yesterday, so I definitely don't remember what we did. Either way, if you are listening to the Snapchat today on this lovely Monday, maybe it's lovely, it could be an awful weather day for you. We've got these tiers over here, and at the top here we've got the best, right? The best candy. And we have always good, right? Like you're always okay reaching out. It's solid. It's good. We have decent, which like decent I think is like if it's there and you're hungry, you'll put it in your mouth, like whatever. Kind of garbage is the next tier, which I think is like, I don't know when I'm eating kind of garbage, like what is a situation in a scenario that you're like, this candy's kind of garbage, but I'm going to eat it right now.
Buddy, based on my physique, I eat kind of garbage every day.
Kind of garbage is when I get my oil changed. They've got that bowl of candy at the cashier, and I'm just like, I don't really need this, but I'm gonna put this in my body.
You know what's kind of garbage? Like those really cheap suckers that are just like the piece of plastic, and they're like awful. Like, the ones that like you pull the plastic off and it's like they're super sticky.
Yeah, the dum-dums. But I only eat the blue raspberry ones. If you have any other ones, those are kind of garbage though. That's a perfect. Are those on here? I don't see them, but if they are,
no, I'm talking worse than I know what you're talking about. I'm talking like dollar store suckers.
Oh, dude, what about the straw? Oh, those are on here. Oh, we're spoiling some of these. Okay, next list is straight into the trash. And then we have what the F are these? So I think Alex is going to want to put so many things into what the F are these, which is disappointing. But I'll describe them to you if you don't know what they are, and at least you can give me your best Canadian comparison. Okay, so we start out with nerds, Alex. We got nerds, my man, and I'm pretty sure, you could be anywhere in the world and you know what nerds are. And I'm gonna make an audible here because nerds are okay, but there's these nerd clusters that have been hitting the scene lately that I think are kind of always good to decent. Probably decent is where I would put nerds.
Nerds used to be always good for me.
Yep.
And then as I've gotten older, like my desire for them has kind of waned. I would go in decent for sure, but they're on the higher end of decent.
The higher
and they
end.
used to be amongst my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. And like, here's the thing. I would say, like, once I started thinking about what they did to my teeth, but that's kind of like all candy. I think we could get this one out of the way. I think this is a good one. Just go right in. Sour Patch. Is that the best for you?
The best for me. Yeah, I like Sour Patch a lot because I think it's so unbelievably flavorful.
I think it's fair.
You only need like one, man. Like, I get there's going to be some people that don't like Sour Patch, but for me, it's near the top because you get so much for so little in Sour Patch. Like, you feel like you can't overeat it. You know what I mean? You just got to savor it.
I'll allow it. Like, I'm not like, I don't know if I'd put it right there, but it'd be close. It'd be like right there. Like, the orange would be down here, but the red would be at the top. What about Bitto Honey? You ever had this garbage?
WTF are these? What is that?
Yo,
is that
this is straight from the 1970s. I feel like it's like dude, it is taffy kind of, but it's like honey. It's like honey toffee taffy. That's the best way to describe it. And honestly, it's not that it's. I think kind of garbage. It's not straight in the trash. Oh, I don't know, man. I think I would eat one of these if they were in like a little bowl at grandma's.
Those look like they're immediately expired from factory.
They're not. It's a stretch to even say they're kind of garbage. I might put them here. I have to be in a really desperate state in my life. Like I would have to have a really, really bad day to, like I get a flat tire. I walk to the gas station at the register. These are here, and I'm like, it can't get any worse. I might as well have a bit of honey.
And just add a Slim Jim to the order while you're there.
What about a Babe Ruth?
Okay, I've seen Babe Ruth. I've never had one before.
I could get flack for this, but like there's some like popular candies in the States. This is amongst the garbage. I think Babe Ruths are garbage. I don't think I've ever made the conscious, sober choice to buy a Babe Ruth. Like I don't think or a junk choice. Like I don't think I've ever cared to get a Babe Ruth. I think I would work through my Halloween bag as a kid and see it and be like, I'll get to this eventually once I've got through the good stuff. It's not good. It's not great. There's somebody out there who's going to be pissed, but they're not good.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I'm just surprised they named a candy bar after like a pitcher from the baseball league.
Yeah, just some random baseball player or like one of the best of all time. Either or.
Understood. Okay. But yeah, I've never had the chocolate bar.
You guys
I don't know if they have them in Canada.
You guys have Gretzky bars up there or something? Like what? What's y'all's?
No, he has a winery though. If you
does
want
he?
some wine.
All right. All right. How about next up? We go with do you know what Werther's are?
Oh yeah, Werther's original.
Tell me you like these. I was gonna say, dude, if you like these,
man.
you're the biggest boomer. Like these are This is boomer food. Like this is straight up boomer food.
That's grandma has had them for 25 years in a bowl, and no one eats them. In the room that has like the furniture covered in plastic.
Dude, you can feel these coming out of your nose too. Talk about like these are bit of honey on like made in a chemical lab even more. Like you feel it. It's a sensation.
They ruin your teeth so bad because you get this sensation where you kind of want to chew on them and then they get stuck in your teeth so unbelievably bad. Yeah, Werther's original. Hopefully like they don't want to sponsor us or anything, but yeah, absolutely.
I want to take the sponsor. People are and you smell. I feel like people's breath. This is like up there on breath.
Like you smell like old person?
I mean, I don't know if I like how old people smell, but I don't think I hate. This is a random quick subject. What is a smell you can't stand?
What? A smell I can't stand?
Yeah. Do you have like a smell you can't stand?
I never really thought of it. I got to tell you, I don't like the smell of like perfumes and stuff, like Axe body sprays and stuff like that. Like I actually would prefer someone not wear like perfume than wear perfume.
My wife eats these things called power berries, and I swear to God, they smell like death. I can't stand them. Okay, so kind of garbage or straight into the trash. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably here with Werther's.
They're not that bad, but they're bad.
I'm not eating them.
Like straight to the trash that's like aggressive for Werther's original.
We might move it. What about classic M&Ms? The classics. Now these aren't peanut.
Always good. Always good.
I think peanut M&Ms might be towards the best?
Easily better. Peanut M&Ms are
Easily.
100% better. There's no question about it. Especially the yellow ones, they are better. I don't care what anyone says if they're the. But regular M&Ms, do you go decent?
No, they're kind of like nerds to me. Like I used to really slap with them, and now I'm not crazy about M&Ms.
You know what? I agree with decent. If
The
it was
commercials
peanut
are good.
M&Ms, I'd do to always good, but I'll accept decent.
Do we have? Oh, we have peanut. You know, let's just do peanuts now. Do peanuts? Do peanut M&Ms make? Do they go always good, or they go near the best? I mean, they're top tier. They're top tier.
I'm willing to go always good minimum, and I'd be willing to listen to the
argument
if
for
they go
here.
the best.
I think for now I need no, because you know what hits this. We might as well just take it up. For me personally, both these hit there. Maybe Reese's Pieces is a stretch. I might say that, but Reese's for me is towards the top.
Reese's Pieces is kind of garbage in my opinion.
Kind of garbage,
But
is
the peanut butter cups themselves, I would consider an always good. But if you want to go the best, that's fine. I got my Sour Patch up there. It is both of our lists,
okay.
so I will allow it. But I will tell you what I really like about Reese's peanut butter cups is I like eating them with a spoon.
With a spoon.
Yeah,
Why?
you eat it with a spoon, like you kind of eat it like it's a bowl, like a miniature bowl of cereal, and you just dig out the middle. Sometimes I really like putting them in the fridge so they become harder.
Yeah. Oh, I do the fridge thing. Actually, there's a lot of candies that get way they go up a tier grade in the fridge.
Yeah, they're way better from the fridge.
It's like taking a card cost down a cost, like in Snap. It's like it significantly gets better right away if it keeps the stat line. I'm gonna go to the next, because here's the thing. I'm actually gonna put Reese's in always good because I have other candy now that have aged better. I think when I was a kid, I would have Reese's as the best, and I bumped it down. Okay. These I think I gotta keep here. I'm gonna be honest. What the hell are these?
I don't know what that is, dude.
I think
Right
I've
to
seen them.
WTF for these. I've never seen those before.
No, I've seen these, but I definitely think my grandpa's grandpa had these in a photo.
It looks like a firework.
It almost is. They're chalk. It's like
Why
Tums.
are you putting them in decent? We don't even know
I'm
what
not.
they are.
This is where I settle them for a second. Like I can't like just, we'll put them here. We'll put them here. All right, next up we've got Laffy Taffy. I think you like Laffy Taffy. You strike me as a guy that likes.
Decent. Yeah, I would go decent, but I'm not happy about it. Like,
No,
they used to be better before.
The jokes
They even have like these sticks, right? And I would have them, and then like they would just decent, maybe kind of garbage. I could go kind of garbage on them.
I would get drunk on Babe Ruth before I would have freaking Laffy Taffy. I can't. I feel like I'm eating something that's giving me cancer when I have Laffy Taffy. By the way, if Laffy Taffy wants to sponsor us too, out the window. Like, there's no shot.
They're doing a great job here.
No shot. All right, let's move on. This Snapchat's gonna be long, guys, and it's a 2 year, so I hope you like it. Yo, what about Fireballs? Do you have these? You ever had these as a kid?
Wait. Those are the ones that get really spicy?
Yeah.
They're like jawbreakers that are super spicy, right?
Yeah. Kind of like the whiskey.
Yeah. Straight to the trash.
They're for sure. No one has the. You know what?
They're
I
not
think
good, man.
the
They're just not tasty.
They're not. You know what's perfect? The perfect candy to bring up with these. It's almost like challenge food candy. Warheads right here. Straight up, like, you're not eating these for satisfaction. You would eat these, and here's the deal. You hit me up in 5th grade, I'd be putting these right up here. Like, these were like the closest thing to drugs that you can have as a kid. And it puts some hair on your chest, right? Blue raspberry, black cherry flavor would ruin you. Nowadays,
You are the kid that 100% like was snorting like
Definitely
Kool-Aid
not.
powder.
I don't know if I'd be where I am today if I was snorting Kool-Aid powder. Yeah, I'm gonna go decent. Actually, I would keep these in decent. I don't think I would eat one today, but I think I'd put it here.
Yo, Warheads are the definition of kind of garbage. But like, if you want to say decent, that's fine. Let's
for
be
my
honest with
childhood-
ourselves. You don't enjoy it.
For my childhood.
Yeah, okay, I'll accept it. But like, literally, I think like the definition of kind of garbage candy is Warheads.
What about a blow pop? I haven't had a blow pop in a long time.
That's the one that is like a lollipop, but in the middle has like a chewy thing, right?
Yeah.
The chewy thing always sucked. I think it's kind of garbage.
I think they suck. I'm actually low key dude, I'm not eating a blow pop. I don't like lollipops. I hate lollipops, dude.
What about ring pops? Do we have
when
ring pops on that list?
When's the last time you as an adult, and I want the listeners to hear, when's the last time you as an adult had a lollipop?
Dude, okay, this reminds me, it's not necessarily lollipop, but
Have you had one?
a couple of years ago, I was driving and I pulled up to I was at a stoplight, and the dude beside me was like hammering a popsicle. And I got to tell you, it was so awkward because we made eye contact and he was like, he was going to town on it.
If you're having a popsicle in public, first of all, in public,
bro,
geez, you can have a popsicle in your house.
Both of us felt really awkward.
I kind of mess with popsicles, but I have a kid. Like, right? Like, it's the same as like blowing bubbles. Like, if you're blowing bubbles, like, cool. If you're with a kid, if you're blowing bubbles as like a grown man on a bus station, like, what's happening? What's going on? Blow pops are the same for me. If you're having a lollipop and you're just like alone, I'm gonna be like, what's going on? Like, you doing okay?
Yeah. For anybody wondering, I really remember this so much. It was a Cyclone popsicle. It was the red, white, and blue one that goes in a circle.
Oof. That's I don't know if I can get that memory out of my head. How about Almond Joys? This dude, okay, hey, you don't know what this is?
No, right to WTF for these. That's some American stuff right there.
Well, I know what I'm sending you. I like, hand to God, this is what you're getting mailed. This to me, so I'll just speak on it for you, okay? It's you got chocolate. That's like pretty good chocolate. Coconut, but coconut like, it's like not like a slice. It's like a mixture of coconut with a little almond in the middle for the crunch. And when I was a kid, I thought these were the definition of just the devil's work. But I now think these are one of my favorite. You don't know, so this kind of sucks. I would put them as always good.
Really? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
They're
It
good.
sounds awful. Like coconut is such a
such
a terrible flavor.
I know. I'm not a coconut guy either. I hate coconut water. Like, I'm not a coconut guy, but I like Almond Joys.
Really? Okay, I'll have to try one time. I'll have
bad.
to wander to the United States of America and get myself an Almond Joy.
This is right here with Blow Pops, buddy. Friggin' Pixie Sticks. If you haven't,
Pixie Sticks, man, they're straight to the trash.
I hate-
man. Like,
yeah.
there's nothing redeemable about Pixie Stick.
dude, it's kid meth. Can I say
Yeah,
that?
basically.
Can I say
you
that
can
on
say
the
that.
podcast? I don't know. Swedish Fish. Oh, come on.
Okay.
Have you
Swedish fish are, oh man, you know what the problem with Swedish fish is? I think they're decent now. They used to be always good, now they're decent.
Oh, dude, I'll fight you. They're always
They feel greasy now. I don't know, they changed their formula.
greasy. They're dry. No, they didn't.
Yes, they did, man. At least
No.
the Canadian formula, it has a greasiness to it. I don't
guys-
like them anymore.
Greasy. They're like the driest. They're like the driest candy.
Bro, the formulas in Canada and the States can be different, okay? When we were in the United States of America, my kids love Fruit Loops in Canada. We got Fruit Loops there. Dude, your Fruit Loops were like vibrant ass colors. And when my kids poured milk, the coloring from the Fruit Loops like changed the color of the
Yeah,
milk.
we pumped the
I was
blue
like,
40.
What's happening?
We
here?
pumped the blue 40. The factory's like, you sure we should? And they just say, how much? And they say yes. Like, it just doesn't. I'm gonna put them here. All right, because I'm not going off Canadian formula. All right, we're gonna take the better of the two. All right, and I'll take your word for it if they go up there. Yo, what about dots?
Man, you know what? Dots? Those were like the things I would get like going out in Halloween. I'd get like someone was giving out dots. I get like a couple small packs of them. They're basically jujubes, but I don't really remember what they taste like. So I guess kind of garbage.
They kind of taste like garbage. I think I lost a tooth to a dot when I was a kid. They are sticky. Like, I'm pretty sure if you like popped a hole in a boat, you could chew a dot and like seal it. It's like Flex Seal, the commercial. You haven't seen that, probably.
Yeah. Actually, you saying dot brought back to my mind. You remember the show Reboot
No.
and Dot with Enzo? And no, someone out there is gonna remember the show Reboot, and it was one of the main characters' name was Dot.
Sweet Tarts.
Kind of
Indifferent.
garbage, maybe decent.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like kind of garbage. Just like indifferent is my thing. Here we go. We might fight on this. I don't know. Kit Kat.
That's chocolate though. Like, what are we doing?
What do you mean? What are we doing?
It's a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
It's not candy.
Halloween candy. Candy is like chocolate and candy. Dude, what do you think Reese's is? What?
You've been skipping all the chocolate at the bottom for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've been grabbing the other stuff here. What do you mean this chocolate? What do you think M&M's are?
I guess that's true. Never mind. It has a candy shell.
No, that's just chocolate. It's more chocolate.
Yeah, actually, these Reese's don't make sense. Okay, let's just move on. Okay,
What Kit Kat?
The Kit Kat's not the best, but it's definitely always.
It's my
good.
best. This is my best. This is my Sour
Really?
Patch Kid. This is what I'll eat no matter what. This used to be my favorite candy of all time.
Oh, bro, that's so cringe.
No, not anymore, dude.
Hershey's cookies and cream, that is legit kind of garbage.
Oh, I hate you. Yeah, no, it's okay.
It's
I hate
so
you.
bad.
This is our
That
last
is like one of
Snapchat.
the worst chocolate bars ever. It's white chocolate that tastes like absolute filth.
You're absolute filth. This is no. I think this. I
would rather eat arugula.
You suck. No, listen. Bar. I'm gonna send you a bit of honey. How about you think it's bit of honey tier? You ass.
No, I think it's kind of garbage. It is literally kind of garbage.
Dude, to put this even next to Babe Ruth is the most unconstitutional. I'm putting this right here. Can't stop me.
It's a travesty.
You can't stop.
I can't stop you.
No.
I'm powerless.
Here you go. Here you go. Okay, next. Done.
Come on, man. Okay, I actually don't like
Twizzlers,
to be honest with you. I wouldn't say they're straight in the trash, but they are kind of garbage.
Oh, dude, did you have Runts growing up? Did you have these growing up?
Yeah. Yes, I used to love Runts.
I'm not gonna lie.
Super hard though.
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot these exist. I had to make this smaller so that we can even see this list. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot these existed. Runts, the banana flavor.
Yeah, Runts. I would basically just eat the other ones and save all the bananas. And
yeah,
I think I know this now because
the
like bulk barns and
so
stuff.
Bad.
Yeah, I think the bulk barn actually has Runts and it's just only bananas, and you can just scoop up all the bananas.
I swear it's been since 1998 since I put a Runt in my mouth. That sounds horrible too. Do we want to put it? I think they're kind of garbage. I think
they're probably kind of garbage. If we were to eat them today, we'd be disappointed. I think.
I just feel like the blue ones really like hit me. Like they were kind of much. I'm skipping some of these. Did you ever get these little guys?
Yeah, I like those a lot. Those are Tootsie Rolls. The flavored Tootsie Rolls. Those are always good in my opinion. No, they're not. They're sick, man. Those are good. And okay, the OG Tootsie Rolls that taste like plastic chocolate, that's kind of sus, but those flavored ones are legit. Those are always good, man.
These are the ones that like when I get these given to me, I'm like, oh, so you didn't get real candy this year, you know?
I'll accept decent, nothing less.
Bro, I could be on a desert island, like just begging for substance, and I'd see these and I would just eat sand. I'm not putting that in my mouth.
Most of the stuff that's down there right now, I've never seen before. Some of it,
100 grand?
I have no idea what that is.
It's right. It's almost the perfect comparison to Babe Ruth. It's that bad. Like it's like, and by the way, Runts is getting out of the picture, guys. I think we'll be okay. I think we're gonna live with Runts not in the picture. Airheads. This is another adult. If you're having an Airhead,
that's straight to trash now.
If you're having an Airhead these days, I'm concerned. But dude, these for me, these are the ultimate like baseball candy. Like I would go to baseball games and they would have these concession stands, which were like kid robbery. And I think kid labor was going on there. But I would get dozens of these. Just that and bubble gum. Oh, like Big Chew gum. You didn't have Big Chew. The Big Chew gum's a definition of American.
Wait, Big Chew, is that the purple one with the baseball player on the front?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. We've had those before.
I used to have that all the time, man, when I was playing baseball. I was like a young kid. All right, we've got Mr. Goodbar.
Never heard of it.
What?
Yeah, never heard of that. That's another American.
Now here's the thing. These are actually pretty good. These are actually really good. I would put this.
You had so many hot takes tonight. I can't believe any.
You haven't even had a Mr. Goodbar. You don't even freaking know what it is. It could be the
but
best
you've been hot taking the whole time with absolutely just brutal takes.
Oh my god!
So I don't know if I can believe this.
He says that with like this crap, the colored Tootsie Cancer, right in the decent thing.
But like the problem is, it's called Mr. Good Bar, not Mr. Decent Bar. So maybe you got something going there.
Not always good. It's not the Mr. Always Good Bar though. If it was the Mr. Always Good Bar or the best bar. Which I kind of Snickers. Do you know what that is? Have you had a Snickers, Alex?
Snickers are borderline straight into the trash.
Yo, honestly, here's the deal. I agree, and I think this is a hot topic. I'm sorry, did you say Mars bars? The hell's a Mars bar?
You've never heard of a Mars bar before?
I know I have, but I've avoided them.
No, they're way better than Snickers. Snickers has like the peanuts in them, right? For no reason.
These are gonna, yeah, for sure. This is gonna piss people off. There are people that like their Snickers, and I don't know why. You know what though? Have you had Snickers ice cream?
No.
Never mind.
The only reason why I even remember what Snickers are is because in all the fantasy football apps, I think they they sponsor the optimization on your lineup thing.
Three Musketeers.
Never heard of it.
You have
another American candy.
Okay, here's the deal. Once again, I can't put it here. People are gonna be so mad that Snickers is next to 100 grand.
All this American candy I've never heard of is basically at best mid.
Yeah, to be honest. No, honestly, yeah. Except Almond Joy. It is. It's not great. I actually like Three Musketeers. I might put that up a little higher. I can mess with that. I think it's not the worst. We're gonna now have this like, this is huge. Okay, this is a 30-minute segment, and I'm here for it. Okay, we're ending. We're ending soon. Because some of this I can't even rank, bro. Like Jolly.
Are those Pez though?
Jolly Ranchers, real quick.
Jolly Ranchers are always good.
Always good.
I like Jolly Ranchers.
You like small colored candy. Like I like busted. I found you out. Like this is I think the blue ones are actually I think I could have some of these.
I think what it is that like I like candies that can sustain my enjoyment for a long period of time. Like the Sour Patch, the reason why I like them, I can have one at a time and I feel like I'm being sustained. The Jolly Rancher, you can suckle on it for like an hour.
Don't ever say suckle again. That really bothered me. That got me sweaty. Hey, have you had a Toblerone before?
Oh, those are like the really shitty bars that people give you for Christmas.
You know, I don't even want to rank it. I'm just gonna be upset. Nope, it's fine. Yep. No, it's okay. I've never had one before. They're really good. Okay. Lo, look at that. No Mars bars here because they suck. Okay, what about Starburst?
I like Starburst. But
you're just a little honestly, candy guy. Yeah, you're a little candy guy.
They're probably like high decent though. They're not always good.
Yeah, I think in the day they were okay. They're nerds to me. It's exact equivalent of nerds to me. We'll do a couple more. I know you guys might see some and like you got to do this. It is what it is. I don't even want to say Milky Way because it's another American candy you don't know. Skittles.
Oh, Skittles are near the best because you can have one at a time and enjoy them. I like them a lot. And sour Skittles are incredible.
Okay, so I was about to say,
they ruin your stomach though.
Not your stomach, your tongue.
Yeah, sour Skittles have a really rough like.
I'd put regular Skittles. I'd put here. I actually don't think I would. I don't think I've had a Skittle in forever. Dude, when's the last time you popped a Skittle in your mouth?
Like literally 25 minutes ago. Because my wife bought a do you want me to go get Skittles? I have a bunch of them right now.
Damn,
my wife bought a box of them from Costco to give away from candy, and I opened the box.
I can taste them. I haven't had one in 10 years, and I can taste it. It's that. You know what bothered me with it is one time like you get them wet and you see what comes off a Skittle, and you're like, I'm good. I don't ever want one again. That's that blue 50 going right into your body.
Yeah, that's like people that work at Taco Bell not eating Taco Bell.
Candy corn. The classic.
You know what? Kind of garbage, but I'll eat it.
I like them, so I think they're good. Like I would put them here, but they're kind of garbage. You know what I mean?
They are kind of garbage. like 100. I'm in the same boat as you.
It's like I eat them. Like I'd put them higher, but they're kind of garbage. They're the definition of the tier.
But what I will say is, you see those rockets?
Where?
Left. No, down. You don't know what a rocket is. It's right there between the I don't know, the app, two right from the apple.
Dude,
yes,
no,
that's
not a rocket, bro. These are not sweet tarts. These are Smarties or something like that.
No, they're called rockets. They're like sweet tarts, but they're called rockets, dude. Those are sick.
So this must be the formula thing. I think we both have them. You untwist it, they stack. You can
Yeah, they're like sweet tarts except not bad.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. This is a formula. This is a classic. Like there was a naming rights thing, and like the states won one, you guys won the other, Rockets won in the. I'll be honest, haven't had these since 1998 again, or 92 probably. But like I like them.
I like them too, man.
I think they're candy corn. I think they're candy corn. They're just not good. And honestly, I don't like. I think hot tamales would go here.
It's straight in the trash.
Yeah, honestly. I think we've just the classic Hershey.
Oh, Hershey sucks, man. I don't know, kind of garbage probably. But I do see ring pops there. I do like myself a ring pop, but not as a grown man. So straight into the trash.
Okay, I was about to say, bro, you're giving crap about a guy at a bus station having a popsicle, but you were like, yeah, man, but I crush a ring pop.
Dude, no, you don't understand what this guy was doing to this this popsicle though.
Bro, you can't do anything civil. And honestly, not like borderline illegal, like near your school if you're having a ring pop. You put it on the ring?
Yeah, no. I'm not eating a ring pop as a grown man. I'm not gonna do it. But one thing I will say though, one of my absolute favorite.
If this video gets 4,000 likes, Alex will have a ring pop by the next video and eat it on camera.
Yeah, exactly. I want to give a special shout out to I don't know exactly how to pronounce the company's name, but it's like an American company. Is it like Harbiro,
these gold. People just call them
Haribo
gummy
or
bears.
whatever.
No one
Yeah,
says
the
like,
gummy-
I want Harbiro. Yeah.
You guys used to have these like sugar-free versions, which if you would eat them, you would get like excessive, like savage, like IBS, like severe to the point. Like, dude, we used to call them ass blasters because you would have
no
them
way.
and like, yeah, and they would like ruin your stomach to the point that like if you want to look up Haribo sugar-free candy reviews, people left like Amazon reviews, they got discontinued because there was so much negative hype around them. So like I pulled a couple of the reviews. One of them from Amazon, verified purchase. I've been sitting on my toilet for 5 hours in excruciating pain. 10 out of 10 would purchase again. Dude, next review, you will hurt. I got some of these in my stocking for Christmas. I guess Santa hates me. Dude, I'm serious. Like, these were absolutely savage. And if you don't believe me, look up Haribo sugar-free gummies reviews.
You learn something new every day. This is the official candy tier list from Alex, Kocha, and myself. And I actually feel pretty good about this. I think we were pretty honest with it. You don't know a few of them. I love how we only have one. What the F are these? And it's
I don't even know what that is still. It looks like a tube of marshmallow.
Butterfinger.
I've never had one. I don't think we have them up here.
Oh, I like these. All right.
That's the Bart Simpson one, right?
I think so. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, this is the candy tier list. We got one more subject to talk about. So let's go ahead and get back to Snap Business and talk about the OTA. As the title says, what the F was this balance patch? And I think that was what a lot of people felt, both on the creator side, on the player side. You know, we saw some buffs like Typhoid Mary. That was awesome, but we'll get to those. We got to start with by far the most, like, I think we were all shocked by it. We've been talking for weeks about what change we might see to War Machine and his style of deck. Storm going to a 4-5 was probably the last thing on my bingo board, dude.
Yeah, you know how, like, I think it was last week we talked about, like, whether or not you can ban cards in Marvel Snap? Well, they just effectively banned Storm. Like, it was in one deck. And I guess they couldn't figure out like the solution to that one deck because of the lack of interactivity with it, with the War Machine Legion combo. So they killed Storm. And it's so unfortunate because like literally it's paying the price for War Machine and Legion. You know what I mean? It's like Storm was not the problem there. It really wasn't.
There's so many issues to break down on the 4-5, and like I want to go through a lot of them. Like, and again, it's tough to balance. I get it. My problems with it are, number one, listen, they're not afraid to make Series 3 cards better, Series 1 and 2 cards better, or worse, but we have had a good amount of cards that are quote-unquote free cards or 1 through 3 take hits for cards that are newer, which I get puts the devs in this pigeonhole, right? Because, you know, people just got the card. Do they take that card down? Well, ultimately, they probably have to for the betterment of the game. But then, that aside, too, Storm is such a unique card, and I feel like, you know, I'm not going to say like if I think of Marvel Snap, I think of Storm, but kind of. She was very iconic. I thought she was an iconic card in what she delivered for the game. 3 cost. They've never touched her really as a card. It made me sad. It reminded me of Chavez and Adam Warlock. I had that same feeling of her not in 3. Heck, right before we started this, where did I go? 3 cost to pull up Storm. It's like ingrained in me.
To sound like I'm just kind of like trying to like protect the house or anything like that, but like I think Storm should be held sacred to some degree. Like I think that there's some heroes in this game that like you got to treat them right. Like how do you take Storm out and just like make her completely irrelevant like this? Like I think it's really hard to watch. Like Chavez fine, but like Storm is iconic. Like Magic the Gathering just announced like some integration with Marvel, and what's like one of the most advertised ones? A Captain America card and a Storm card. Front and facing, advertised. Look at these Marvel. It's like, yeah, because Storm is iconic. You know what I mean? And it needs to be shown a little bit of respect. And I think in this circumstance, they showed it absolutely zero respect. Because like this is just don't cope with me with Zabu either. Because like that is just like
absolutely
it's so much worse.
Well, and it's not even just that. I think it's also just the stat line. Like it's a 4-5. Like the disrespect of the stat line, right? Like going up to 4 cost is major, especially for a card that wants to be playing her on 3 was something you did a lot. In fact, so many 4-cost cards, we would evaluate them and be like, oh, you could follow up with Storm, right? Or whatever you wanted to do there. Also, Dead from Surfer is crazy. I get she wasn't making Surfer list, but that's just such a weird thing to have gone now. C2, listen, I said it in my update video. Not a lot of people played it, but C2 did take... This was like a win condition for that deck, you know, try to shut it down, then boost up the lane later. And then a 4-5 is just not a good stat line. And I get maybe that with her effect, you can't get her too crazy, but this does feel like an absolute just a death of a card.
Yeah, I actually tried to play her, and the key thing about, like, you're thinking, okay, well, Alex, it's like 3-2 was a suboptimal stat line, 4-5 is like the equivalent suboptimal stat line, but the difference is that playing it on turn 3 earlier on, where you know, oh, they've played in these 2 locations, I'll take this one out, they don't have power there, I put a Nebula there in advance. Having that on turn 3 is way stronger than turn 4. The fact that your opponent hasn't developed the board state yet, or their board state, or their board plan, and you kind of shut a location down on turn 3, that flooded location is flooded for longer now. You know what I mean? It's flooded for longer if you play it on turn 3. By turn 4, it has less of an impact. You're essentially shutting it down for 1 turn, right? It's just not good, and it bothers me because it's like a card that's paying for the sins of others, and it just shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, and listen, like I like War Machine the way it is too. I do like War Machine as a card. I feel like there were other avenues to go rather than this. But, you know, this is and you know what? Every time we call out a dead card, it does die. Adam Warlock died. He was dead. Like, he's still not playable, not there. America Chavez, we saw it happen in HD. Went to a 2 cost, down to a 1 cost, still not played. And so I really hope that the devs hear the feedback here on this one and figure out something to do with Storm, because I really don't want to see this card just go to the wayside and just not be played again.
No, I would certainly hope not. Like, this card is too iconic and too important to the brand, the IP, and just like the overall fun factor of the game. Like, you're taking out a card with such an incredible unique effect and just completely just ruining its opportunity to be relevant, and that's unfortunate.
Well, that takes us to the other 4-5 now in Rock Slide. And I said on my video, I'll see you in a few months when he goes back down to a 3. I mean, we've seen this happen before. We've seen this story of Rock Slide bounce around. He's got, you know, he's now has the same iconic stature as something like Shadow King, who just gets nerfed and buffed a lot, kind of for the sins of others. It's funny, at this point, when Darkhawk needs a change, we know it's always this guy. Like, this is the guy that takes the hit. I'm a little bit more okay with this than not a little bit. I'm definitely more okay with this than Storm. I think that was like obviously the radical shock, because Darkhawk has been doing Darkhawk has been relevant forever. He's doing great. Rock Slide, though, is again one of those cards, though, a turn 3 play. It's not just about the power, the cost ratio. It's that you're shuffling 2 rocks in on turn 3, and now that's changed obviously dramatically, being a whole nother turn with only 2 left.
I actually hate this change a lot, because once again, yeah, it's Rockside paying the price for Darkhawk, and yeah, okay, drawing the rock sucks. I understand that. And if you remember correctly, Rockside started as a 4/6, but Darkhawk didn't exist. Darkhawk came into the meta. We got OG Zabu, right, which made Rockslide cracked, and then Rockslide was being played as a 3 cost at an impressive stat line, and then it was moved down to a 3 cost. Zabu was taken out behind the shed, so it existed in this weird spot for so long. The key thing that this destroys is that Rockslide could be played on turn 3. It could also be played on turn 6. You could play Rockslide in conjunction with Mystique after a turn 5 Darkhawk in order to boost both Mystique and the Darkhawk itself, while actually putting down a 3 additional power. That kills that combo unless you use Zabu again. It's like they're trying to make us use the Zabu, Cozy.
But it's
rough. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not the same. And it's like, you know what I don't like is I think in the paragraph, they're like, it doesn't feel good to draw rocks. The creator of the game, Ben Brode, literally said his favorite decks was these kind of decks and throwing rocks and disruption and stuff, right? Like, the creator of the game. And so to me, it's like, I get it. I understand player experience. I understand all that stuff. But also, some of these core features have been here for a long time. And it just feels like we've both gotten used to it and fallen in love with it. And so, you know, if the stats say Darkhawk is too good, fine. It's just sad to see that Rockslide was the one to pay the price yet again. And then we also had, who was the other, who else got nerfed? Oh, Claw. What happened there? Dude, it's been since year 1 that I was like, he played a Claw on me. Like, I lost to that Claw. I just didn't expect, put it this way, I didn't expect all 3 of these cards that got nerfed.
In my OTA video, I literally shouted you out. I was like, Cozy is going to lose his mind when he reads protecting the new player experience. It's what they said in the notes, that it was about the new player
Bro, there's
experience.
not new
Cozy, how
players,
could you
dude.
be so dense? The new player experience. Someone think of the new players.
To think of the new players is by giving catch-up mechanics. That's the new player experience. Like, honestly, that's the truth. Thinking of the new players is getting them ways to get up to speed where they are now, because that's what's preventing new players. I have friends and content creators that are like, I want to make content for the game and come over from the game that I'm playing. But dude, I tried. I have no way to catch up. And it's not because Claw's putting out 8 power on the right side. Like, there's just no way. The nerfs are bad. They were tricks, as I called them. The treats, though. Let's talk about it. We have Typhoid Mary, who I think obviously was like, I said each and every patch, you get the one change that you're like, yes, this hit hard. This is awesome for Typhoid.
Yeah, I like this. This is a way better card than it was before. And one thing that it does as well, it wasn't being played in Ajax decks, but it did take a piece out of those Ajax decks, because Ajax is actually quietly a very high performer right now. It has like the 1 or 2 lists where it's doing very, very well. But this just makes the card so much more natural to play. It makes a lot more sense in Scar-based decks, and Scar is probably one of the most underrated cards in Snap right now from a win rate, cube rate perspective. There are decks out there that absolutely slap with Scar, like legit slap. They added Arrow to the Scar list, and now they've added Typhoid Mary. And I like it. I like this change a lot. And it's unfortunate. One thing that kind of came to mind, though, is that like Typhoid Mary traditionally was played in the Sauron-based deck, so obviously this has no effect in that.
Dead deck, though.
That whole archetype's dead.
It's dead. The Taskmaster, like, as we talked about the pool 3 cards earlier, like, Taskmaster died. Like, he's a dead card because of what happened to him. And for really no explanation. Like, if you think about it, like, we thought it was because of the move stuff, but that has already proved not to be this, like, dominant thing, right? So it's like, that card's dead. The Typhoid thing, I get the whole Ajax. I got a couple comments on that. It reminds me of when Dracula got changed. Like, oh, but I played him in Jotunheim. It's like, yeah, he's just a better card, though, all around. I think Typhoid, this was the way to go about the change. Shuri decks are dead, though. Like, those kinds. Like, the Sauron ones, that's a dead deck. You can go with the Spectrum stuff as well with her, too. But this will definitely increase her play rate overall.
It's kind of funny to think that like the Shuri Red Skull Sauron decks felt so insane at the time. Like, how can I possibly compete with the Red Skull power? Red Skull's been power crept to the point that like it's like, yeah, cool, you're playing Shuri. Nice play, bro. Like, it's nothing, right? And I'm convinced that Taskmaster got nerfed because of the little movers. I'm convinced it had to do with like picking up Human Torch and then playing down like an Iron Fist. I was gonna say Iron Lad. It's Iron Fist punching over the Human Torch and then copying the. I think it had to do with that Human Torch being copied. But regardless, man, like it's so sad what happened to Typhoid Mary. Not Typhoid Mary. To Sauron. Typhoid Mary. Good job.
We have a couple small power buffs. We had Daredevil go up to a 2-3, Electro go up to a 3-3. I kind of said the same thing about both of them. Yay, like it's not gonna radically change. I think Daredevil. I'm interested to poke around with him more. I can tell you that. Like I've been doing a couple other fun decks with him. And Electro, I actually got the power difference there because I'm like, Wave and Hope Summers have really kind of taken that spot over a little bit. And so, cool, add an extra power point there, if you will. Sandman went down, and so, give him some type of an identity. I saw somebody mention making him like a 2-1. Like, put him at 2 so you can ramp even earlier and do those shenanigans, but at a little bit of a cost, which would also kind of fit the character.
Interesting. That's interesting. I actually like that.
I
can see that being potentially problematic with something like a Nihilus, right? Would be absolutely savage with that.
But it would make 4 cost matter with Electro, which is kind of cool because like I don't know about you, but you kind of have to kill off 4 cost cards in that deck, right? So it would open up more creativity, and I would have rather gone maybe a bit more in that direction. There's probably things we're not thinking about. We'll probably get hammered with a bunch of comments saying that's horrible, but I thought it was a good suggestion.
Yeah, it is a suggestion. It does make it so like it's a little more draw dependent, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Electro needed something, right? It had been. I think the theme here is power creep, right? Honestly, because Electro got power crept by Corvus Glaive, by Wiccan. You're looking at Daredevil got power crept by pretty much everything. At launch, Daredevil was actually a legit good 2-drop. I think a key thing with Daredevil 2 worth considering is that Professor X's change took a lot of power off of Daredevil. Like the OG Professor X was a very good play with Daredevil. Can you imagine Daredevil running like a 47% win rate and you get to see your opponent's turn 5 play?
Bro.
And you're still winning 40% of the 47% of the time? That's insane to me.
Bro.
That's how ineffective the card was.
Back in the days when I used to make the videos, Gamora, Hobgoblin, Professor X. Those were the cards you would play with Daredevil for the most part. Why? Any of those. Hobgoblin, we have new cards to deal with that. A billion new cards to deal with that. Annihilus and Missouri and who knows. Viper. Could just push that back. But then Gamora, dead card. Completely dead card stat-wise. And then, yeah, Professor X, not played anymore. Not worth the risk. So, like, it's more about the things around Daredevil than him himself as well. I think that it's one of those cards that just kind of need a rework altogether. Shadow King. This was one where we have the higher echelon of top-ranked players disgusted that this card got a buff because of how good it already is. And then you have what they said stat-wise, no one else is playing it outside of that top echelon. And this, to me, just read as, hey, everyone else, play this card. Like, you need to be playing this card. This is an answer to Agent Venom. That is a really dominant card at the moment, alongside some other, just good winning decks are these kind of faux power decks. Play Shadow King. And that I think this is their, like, hey, play them.
Oh, you're 100% right. This is literally the development team saying, if you're having trouble with Agent Venom, you play Shadow King now. It's also very indicative of there being actual legitimate season pass card plot armor. Like, Agent Venom is probably too strong. Is it the season pass card right now? Yes. Is it going to get nerfed? No. How do you deal with it? You buff Shadow King, right? Like, that's exactly what they did. This is literal plot armor for the season pass card. I think Agent Venom's cracked, but Shadow King is a cracked counterplay. Like, you completely destroy those decks, and it destroys Destroy, ironically. It has so many different plays you can utilize with it. It's just a little awkward sometimes committing the energy on turn 6 to play the Shadow King because you want to play it out early. A little easier against Destroy because just taking out the Venom on turn 5 or something is usually enough to destroy their game plan. But yeah, this card is absolutely cracked at 2-3.
We've been saying for forever. I think, like, biggest sleepers in Snap, maybe a year ago, Shadow King was on that list, and he still is, and the devs now are trying to get on the action. Meek Misery also buffed, marginal changes at that. So an interesting OTA, definitely not one that I think we really wanted. There are OTAs that there are patches that we really want to see. There's others that they happen, and we're just like, man, I would have rather just the game we already had. And I think this is, I would trade the Typhoid buff for everything else. I'd put it that way.
No, 100%, man. There's no question about it.
And lastly, Alex, we are going to talk about just the 2 years, man. The 2 years together. We have a little bit of clip of, honestly, awesome moment. It's all of the moments of just the Snapchat over the course of 100+ episodes, and actually looked at the highest viewed moments, most comment stuff. And I don't know if this is just going to come off as a jumbled craziness, but it's going to be cool to relive from the very beginning and just onwards, buddy. And so can't wait to relive that. Before, I present that here, what is something that, like, comes to your mind as a legend? I mean, obviously the legendary zoo tier list, a lot of people bring that up. Is there a couple of memories that, you could think of?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the biggest things that really come to mind is the Smoke Break Dad. Smoke Break Dad has to be the number one moment for me, because the thing that you guys wouldn't understand about that moment was I was actually laughing and I could not breathe and I could not continue the podcast. I was laughing so hard to the point Cozy's like, you got to get yourself together. We have to finish this. Like, you can't. It was 15 minutes of me crying and laughing and not being able to breathe. Like, unironically, completely derailed the entire show. And I could not stop laughing. And to this day, I think it's one of my favorite moments.
I got a comment on mine last episode that said, for the Snapchat 2nd year anniversary, they said, did the dad ever come back? And clearly he didn't. And he's not. He's still in that smoke break. He'll be back, right? He'll be back. Dude, for me, one of my favorite moments was when we did it live. And I was actually thinking about we should do a couple more Snapchats live. Because first, I thought it was cool because I think our viewers saw that it's just one cut, and like, I love that. Like, I love that people got to see that. But dude, you know what I was thinking of in the future? Is if we did the Snapchat mailbag, if we ever do it live, we take in live callers. Can you imagine the effing chaos that would result in? Like, like, you're on air on the Snapchat. What do you got for us? And it's just, we have to just take whatever the hell we hear. I think that could be epic. We should do that for going into year 3, dude.
That would be such a great idea. Yeah, actually, I do remember doing the Snapchat live. We did it. We simultaneously streamed it on both our Twitch channels and stuff like that. It was such a setup. I can't believe it even worked. We like, I can't. It was like such a setup, man. It was like, it was awesome, but it was a lot of fun. And I agreed. Imagine doing live calls. But now we're giving everyone these ideas. Now they're gonna like kind of like
we got to do it.
They're gonna plan. They're gonna plan like how can I derail the podcast live? You know?
And we always, Alex and I always have big plans over here, and we got some stuff stored up. Sometimes our aspirations are bigger than what reality can do. Like I remember we were like, we got something special planned, and people were like, did you and Alex ride a Vespa throughout San Diego? I'm like, no, we didn't get to do that. And in fact, we have a little something special from the zoo, but it's not ready yet. It's not ready. You know, there's a lot of preparation that has to go into this. We had to really, I mean, when Alex kicked the elephant and when those 6 zookeepers went after you, dude, I thought we were done. I thought we were not getting out of there.
Yeah, it's a good thing that like I've been practicing my kung fu, and those zookeepers didn't know what was coming to them. I was judo chopping guys all over the place.
Well, you had that koala in a headlock, and I like it started there, and then it like really went downhill.
Yeah, you start with the headlock, you end it with the power bomb. I think that's how you kind of finish off a koala. But when the gorilla came out, I realized I'm like, you know what? This is mono way mono.
A lot of animals involved.
I'm not looking forward to it, right? So you know, when that what are they called? Ironbacks, iron chest gorillas,
iron chest, silverbacks,
silverback,
iron chest. You know, but we do want to just say thank you guys for being with us, sticking with us, staying with us, and we're excited for the future and what we had to deliver. There's some special stuff coming in, and you know, on that, here is some of the best moments from the Snapchat, and we hope you guys enjoy. Welcome back, Snappers, to the first ever Snapchat. I'm just pumped to have you on the channel and finally do a collaboration together. What's up, man?
Oh, you're talking about being excited. Do you have any idea how excited I am?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the first ever Snap Draft. So, Alex, are you ready for a draft?
I'm ready. I'm ready to ruin your draft. I mean, I'm ready to make your deck.
We're teamwork, man. We're going to hope we get the win. So, do you want to go captain here? Oh, we got the retreat.
You broke him. You broke him because of Maximus.
Hey, hell of a first time draft in that deck, dude.
Unbelievable.
And armor just like, man, there's not a faster retreat in all the land than when you throw this out before they can destroy their combo they're looking for. So armor's one that I would say is probably my most used, second to Shang-Chi.
Yeah, this card's unbelievable. It is so good. You get it in pool 1. When you bring it out in pool 2, it protects your sunspot. It blows up destroy decks. Like, destroy decks absolutely hate it. I'm actually kind of sad you took it down because that variant was so beautiful. I absolutely love it. You always have the best variants.
What's going on, Alex? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. Anytime I get to sit down with you and talk Marvel Snap is an amazing time in my books.
Lastly, I will say the audio version, we hear ya, will be coming by the next episode, guys. Excited to launch that for those that want to listen to our banter and not look on the videos.
All right, so there's a card that is synonymous with the X-Men.
Okay.
And as I say that, you probably know exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Let me find
Cyclops.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why Cyclops has been done so dirty? You can't even find him. You don't even remember what he looks like because you haven't played him in a deck. Like, he's so terrible, Cozy. Like, you're struggling because you're like, I don't even know what Cyclops looks like.
I'm struggling. So to close on this subject, Alex, let's go and talk best unlocks. We both made lists. Okay, we made we made lists on what we think are the best unlocks for pool 3 players.
We just have a quick conversation about what it's like as a content creator making a tier list.
Oh my!
It's like, we know we're gonna get absolutely ruthlessly assaulted in the comments. But as soon as you make a tier list, like, everyone is gonna hate this tier list.
Oh, dude. Okay, between tier lists, mispronouncing a name in the Marvel universe, and like a slight misplay, it's over. Like, your comments are just ruthless, and I love it.
Buddy, I mispronounced the name already in this podcast. Like, literally, I did that this podcast.
50
you can
comments.
rewind and hear me mispronounce the name.
Yeah,
I bought Super Scroll.
Yeah. Have you used them since?
Nope.
Who's the token shop's been around now. Biggest regret, favorite card that you've gotten? Both sides.
I've regretted all my purchases. Cozy, I'm sorry. I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
And She-Hulk.
I bought Papa Thanos. And okay, we gotta bring this up again. Are we gonna do this again? Because the other week you told me Papa Thanos was gonna carry us to infinite. Papa Thanos is carrying me into sadness.
He's taking me there.
I think this card still sucks, man.
It's because he knows you're talking crap about him. It's because he knows. He's like, I'm not giving this guy any of my damn stones. Alex,
Man,
none of them.
no kidding. I don't never get a stone. I just want stones,
my
man.
God. All right.
Just give me a
all
stone.
right. Alex, let's get your once podcast description to the audio listeners of what you're looking at.
It looks like a red-haired, beautiful woman who's wearing an Iron Man suit, gently grasping a star.
You know, I was getting lost, but the gently grasping pulled me right back in. That was beautiful. That was beautiful, guys. I know you guys like that in the comments. And audio listeners, you're welcome. Now, moments before filming, Alex told me he's not feeling great. He's a little under the weather, but he still showed up for our weekly podcast. What's up, man?
Hey, I'm not going to miss this. Honestly, yes, my voice is giving out suddenly. But you know what? This is like my favorite time of the week.
You know, you're not going to get that crisp, smooth Alex voice that you guys have grown accustomed to, but this will do as well. Alex, we are at the number 4 spot on the top podcast, as far as Apple Podcasts go, at least, for the charting gaming podcast. Happy 2023 in January. We've got brand new cards coming every single week. Card balances were leaked, and we got some confirmation from Ben Bro that they're actually true. And hopefully, maybe Second Dinner leaked these out to see the initial reactions of everybody. And people were like,
now we're in like the meta game of the leaking. So what you're saying is Second Dinner leaked the patch notes to a North Korean website in advance just to get our impressions.
This is National Treasure 3's next subject. Alex, did you get the bundle?
Hey. I did. I bought both bundles, yes, sir.
I saw a Reddit comment that said, who's going to buy this bundle? And I saw Cozy probably bought it. And I smiled because I didn't get it yet. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But I haven't been.
Keyword there.
Alex, my gosh, the biggest update to ever hit Marvel Snap. Battle mode, pool series drops, the works, man. What do you think? How you doing?
I'm doing great, and you're right. This has been an absolutely momentous week in Marvel Snap. Battle mode coming out has opened up an entire new landscape for Marvel Snap. Competitive is in full swing. We have just straight up friendly battles. You can actually just play your friends, right? And it's couldn't be more an exciting time to be a Marvel Snap player. I think Arrow continues to be one of the absolute best cards in the game. Your face lit up as soon as I said the word. It's on your list too. Come on. Of course it's on your list
Arrow?
too.
No. Guys, are you even surprised? Are you surprised that I made a top 10 list and I didn't have my wife at number 1? Arrow is by far the best card in Marvel Snap, and I don't even think it comes close. I think She-Hulk is great, dude. But the fact that she's 5'7", and she has the most unique ability in the game, and she's what you said, plug and playable. Now, she's not a one cost at times, but I find myself winning more cubes, more games, and putting her in just most of my decks. There's no con of putting Arrow in your deck. What about Thor, dude? I think Thor is also just so good. Like, man, the guy's always got value. Oh, what has he got? Ladies and gentlemen, audio listeners, he's got Thor's hammer himself. Alex, are you worthy? You're picking that up pretty easily.
I mean, it's pretty light. I gotta be honest with you. I don't think it was made all that.
Not made in Asgard.
No, it's not made in Asgard. So I was able to pick it up with relative ease.
As Hella would say, a cheap replica, right? But
yeah, that's exactly what I am.
You know, Alex, you've spent many Snapchat episodes dogging and just talking down to the Lord and Savior of Marvel Snap. And now, not only is he getting buffed massively, he gets to just bring it all together here on the Snapchat. Dude, can you believe?
It actually crossed my mind. I'm like, Cozy is going to be so happy that Thanos got buffed. It also crossed my mind that, like, Thanos just won a tournament and is now emerging in the meta legit, and now it just got buffed again. What is happening here? And like, it blows my mind. Like, obviously they locked in these changes like a week or two ago. They could not have predicted that like it would win a tournament and all of a sudden get like really popular in the meta, and then like, by the way, we're buffing it. It's like, I'm doing great, Cozy, honestly, and I say it almost every single week, but like, it's such a great time to be a Marvel Snap player. There actually is a 100% win rate strategy right now with Kang. What you do is you Iron Fist him in a Cosmo, and then you just Zole it until your opponent retreats. 100% win rate strategy. You heard it here first.
Yeah, well, it's the infinite loop glitch, but I'll say this. I think it's a big clickbait. It's hard to pull off. It's not. I think I watched my buddy Reed just try it for like an hour plus to try to get it to work. And it's like, you know, it shouldn't exist. We should not have infinite combos. It feels like a storm is brewing, right? It's been kind of a slow couple of months. I mean, we had the friendly battles come by. We've had some obviously balance adjustments, but I feel like we're about to get smacked with a lot of different content, Alex. And man, we're getting towards that 20 mark. I think it's our next episode. It's going to be episode 20, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. Can't wait to hit that 20 mark and the next 20, and then before you know it, it'll be 100.
Completely insane.
I can't believe it's been 20 weeks, honestly. 20 weeks of by far my favorite thing that I do in Marvel Snap, and I can't wait for the next 20, Cozy. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's 3 months away, and I've been playing for almost a full year. That's around when I got accepted into the beta of Marvel Snap. Arrow, who is still just such a good surprise card of getting good cubes. And do you still use Arrow? She's a card to me that I've loved forever.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I'm ashamed to admit. I should have picked up on Arrow earlier. Like, you were telling me about how much you loved Arrow, like legitimately, like you had a romantic obsession with Arrow.
Episode
and
1.
Like, I understood it. Yeah, I understood it, but like I for some reason was like, it's a good card.
But Alex, we do have a special guest today, and I want to introduce him. We're going to bring him in right now. KM Best, a top player since the beta days. KM, it's good to have you here, bud.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'll tell you right now, Kitty Pryde has a plethora of bugs. Like I had games crashing nonstop.
I think they had like a bug thing happen a couple times ago, and they're like, everybody, we're giving 50 credits away. Check your inbox, and it's like, 50 credits. Oh boy, Grandpa, I can buy a Quicksilver upgrade with that, I just feel like they need to up that just a little bit, in my opinion, too, huh? Kitty went down. We have a Kitty down, man. Kitty Pryde got pulled from, sadly, the game.
How the hell is Uatu a maybe? That's what I want to know. That's my opening comment.
Believe it or not, very few Watu comments. In 1,000 comments, very few said Watu. I think we've just all accepted that we hate him. Like, he's just dumpster. Like,
I don't hate him. Speak for yourself. I love Uatu.
Alex, you haven't talked about him since week 4 in the Snapchat. Let's be honest.
That's because every time I talk about him, I take emotional damage with your negativity.
I don't know what to say. He begs it. He calls it to himself, man. Look at that. Look at that cue ball over there. Hit me with your one cost. I'll let you start.
Okay, so this is going to be a little controversial. We're getting started off with a banger here. My favorite card this season, coming in at cost 1, is Kitty Pryde. We only got to play for a day. I'm telling you guys, Kitty Pryde was so good. I don't want to just keep bringing this up. I actually released a video like 2 days ago. It was called like Remembering Kitty Pryde, where I released all my day 1 footage because I'm like, guys, this card is so good. Like, it's so fun to play. Let's not forget that this card is literally absent from the game right now.
The first thing we have to announce, this will be our last Snapchat on a Thursday. We are going to be having Snapchat moving forward on, drumroll, Mondays, guys. We decided Mondays for multiple reasons, but mainly outside of this week, all the card balance changes will happen on a Thursday, and that gives us time to play, test, and figure it all out.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Darkhawk out there right now. Some YouTuber I follow released this like Rocks and Hawks deck, and then now I feel like it's all over the place. I'd love to talk to that guy about how he designs his decks to make them absolutely so soul crushing. But I gotta tell you, it's a damn good deck that wins games. I won quite a few playing that Rocks and Hawks deck, my friend. It was a solid one.
I kind of hate birds altogether. I kind of think they just suck.
I can see that. Like, we have blue jays where I'm from, so blue jays will actually fight other birds. I watched a blue jay headbutt a squirrel off of a bird feeder. So you wouldn't know this, but Canadian geese, like, they're like huge bird things. They look like mini ostriches, right?
Yeah.
They are absolutely evil. They will run at you and attack you ruthlessly for no reason whatsoever. And they end up everywhere too. Like, I used to work at a place where like they would all congregate like on a field where like the entrance of a building was. And if you were walking to the building, they would just start running at you. And like, we'd have like old ladies be like, oh my God, like swinging the purse around trying to fight these geese.
It's the best pay-per-view of all time. I mean, like, I would watch that on TV. I mean, but that's why I hate them. They're just, they don't.
Dude, we'd stand at the window and just watch. We would watch old ladies fight Canadian geese nonstop. And old ladies, they don't run fast. The geese catch up.
Oh my God.
They catch up.
I wish I could content create for that so badly. Just like bird fights and birds fighting people. Dude, it'd be off the... There's got to be a channel for this already. There's got to be a Canadian channel.
It sounds illegal, honestly. Like, if we started like a bird fight club, I don't know if that would do so well. I don't know if that could be monetized.
When would we step in, right? Like, if the bird's like really kicking the lady's ass, when do you go in there and help her out, or do you just watch it for the content?
I think eventually you do have to step in, like a referee in a UFC fight. You got to get in there. Got to, like, make sure she can, she's all right. First rule about bird fight clubs is that we shouldn't be talking about bird fight clubs. So I think we need to.
Yeah. We made a big mistake here for sure. And guys, if you see another channel come up that's called BFC, then subscribe, like, all that good stuff. I'm gonna be going to New York next week, but I actually think the hot dogs are tremendous. The street dogs, just the dogs on the side of the street, the vendor dogs in New York, man. I think they're tremendous.
Oh, the street meat. No, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Try it.
I don't like street meat. I don't like that term.
You don't like the street meat term?
Street meat? It gives me
I don't want to ask questions about that. We got to keep this monetized, so let's not go there, Cozy.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Why would anyone ask that?
Well,
It's
by
obviously a
definition,
sandwich.
no, don't, Alex. I can't find another co-host for this show. You think it's a sandwich?
Well, yeah, it's meat between two buns.
I get it. The definition of a sandwich is two breads with meat in between. But Alex, do we call taco? Are we going crazy? We're gonna call tacos as well?
Tacos are sandwich.
Oh my God, I've lost you.
No, you've lost yourself, sir.
You believe in your full heart that a hot dog is a sandwich?
No, I wouldn't say my whole heart, but like if your major problem with it is that like it's one piece of bread that you have a meat in the middle, you can just separate the piece of bread so it's two pieces of bread and just stack them together. It becomes a sandwich again.
A hot dog is a culinary masterpiece, good sir. To confine it to being a sandwich is honestly, it's disrespectful.
Is a hamburger a sandwich?
No.
No, it's not. See, now you're cracked because a hamburger is a hamburger because a sandwich has like lunch meats in it.
But it has its own identity. You don't need to call it. If we were gonna go on a hot, steamy date, and I was like, "Hey, let's go on a picnic. I'll bring some sandwiches," and you're like, "Oh, I love sandwiches, love them." We go to the date, and I whip out a couple hot dogs. Not whip out a hot dog, but a couple of hot dogs that I've made that are sandwiches.
Yeah, we gotta stay monetized here, Cozy. Settle down.
What would your reaction? Would you be like, "Oh, I'm so glad you brought some sandwiches," or would you be a sane, normal person who said, "Hi, those are hot dogs"?
I would say, sir, do you have any mayo for this sandwich?
You put mayos on hot dog? We need to move forward before I lose myself here. Okay, finally, the return of Kitty. Pride is happening, and goodness, it is a different Kitty than we've had before. And we have to kind of see how she's going to work out in its entirety. But man, I'm excited. I think it's so cool that it's very rare that the entire Snap community gets to like have access to something at the same time. Almost never. So finally, Alex, we are going to be ending the Snapchat with a first-time subject, and that is going to be a Snapchat mailbag.
I always joke about how it's a great time to be a Marvel Snap player, and I think this last week was a wild time to be a Marvel Snap player. I'm in Orlando, and I'm getting like these updates about like how like Wave got completely destroyed, all these changes, card acquisition changes, massive patch, and I'm just like trying to just bathe myself in sunscreen, avoiding the biting sun of Florida, just being like, what is happening in Marvel Snapland? And it was just complete chaos, but I'm all for it because anytime the game is changing, I think it's a good thing. And it changed a lot, Cozy.
I can tell you were at Disney. You got like the red face, you have the exhaustion in your voice, the look of death in your eyes a little bit. Like, you know, Disney is the happiest place on earth, but it also sucks the living soul out of you. But I gotta say, Alex, one of the worst things as a content creator is to get sick. And I have been hit by the sick plague this week. If you guys haven't seen a lot of my videos, that's because I have been bedridden. This is actually the first time I've popped out of bed, so you might have to excuse me if Mr. Alex will kind of carry the torch on this one a bit more.
Buddy, you sound great. You look great. Look at you. You look like an absolute Chad.
Oh, man.
The hair's hiding, though. You're hiding your hair behind the hat, though. I think that's a little unfortunate. But other than that, buddy, you look like an absolute Chad.
I've not gotten out of bed in 3 days, so this is feels good to kind of bounce back here. The Move Master himself, we're going to break down everything you could possibly want to know about Move. Let's welcome in Molt. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Really, really excited for this season. I'm excited for people to finally give Move a chance, you know? I feel like it's been slept on, and I'm excited for people to see what's possible.
I got to meet the literal goat. Look at this absolute boss in the middle of the screen here. Literally a goat. I couldn't believe it. The friendliest goat I've ever talked to. This goat was one of the nicest goats I've ever had an opportunity to cuddle with, converse with, and quite frankly, smelled horrible, but was a great presence overall, Cozy. I got to tell you, with everything that's going on right now in Marvel Snap, between the massive changes coming to the Spotlight cash system, it's an absolutely incredible time to be a Marvel Snap player.
Dude, why were you with goats in July? I don't know if the month matters, but yeah. Are you a petting zoo?
Yeah, we took the kids to this really cool petting zoo, and the petting zoo, basically the goats walk around, they eat your clothes, and they poo everywhere. And then every once in a while, one of the goats would be like, and just kind of walk up to you, and it's like looks friendly. You pet it a little bit.
You'll be surprised to hear this, Alex. I have not been to a petting zoo in like 30 years. What do they have outside of goats?
So they had goats, they had chickens. The chickens were a hit with the kids because the kids could chase the chickens, and the chickens would like run away and stuff, and they make funny sounds. And then outside of that, there's horses. My daughter got kicked by this like mini horse. What are they called? I don't know. They're called something. Not a pony. It's like a miniature horse. It's even smaller than a pony. Yeah. If you could pet any dangerous animal, what would you pet?
If I could pet any, or if I could have one, because like I really want an orca, not just because the card. I want an orca in my living room. Kind of want a panda. Pandas are pretty cool, but it comes down like when it comes down like the best animals ever by far, it's penguins, man. Emperor penguins by far, no question.
Penguin's the best animal ever?
Yeah.
Seriously?
No question. What do
Wait,
you
why,
think it
though?
is?
What do I think the best animal ever is?
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to pet a hyena because I think that like petting a hyena is like the ultimate like kind of like, yo, check this out. I'm a
That's the
man of
best animal, or is
I'm a
that
man
just
of
the
the
most
woods,
pet
right?
animal? I haven't broken them down by like pet status.
No, like this is the most dangerous animal to pet. I think would be like a hyena because I feel like it would just attack your arm right away.
Give me like an S tier animal and an F tier animal. So like for me, S tier animal, emperor penguin. F tier animal, like a giraffe. They kind of suck.
You know what? I've always been pretty low on elephants. They don't impress me all that much. Like I
What?
get they're huge, but like I wouldn't say it's an F, but I would give it like a C. Like people are like, oh, it's an elephant. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's an elephant. Like okay, it's a huge ass thingy that walks really slow with a massive trunk. Like I get that.
What's an S tier?
S tier? What's the S tier? Ah man, that's hard to say. I mean, I kind of like squirrels.
You're giving an elephant a C and a squirrel an S.
Squirrels are super cute, man.
Where's like, I'm going to say an animal. You just off the top of your head, give me a letter grade, okay? Gorilla.
Oh, that's a B for sure.
I'll be a silverback. Okay.
Oh, silverback. Those are okay.
Oh,
Silverback's
sorry. It
so
was
badass.
you needed an adjective for
That
the
lifts to
gorilla.
an A. That's like, okay, he can punch through a tree. Yes, A.
Rhino.
Rhinos, C.
Oh my God. It's something about the gray animals with you. I'd give rhinos like a solid like B plus. Lions.
Okay, lions, every time I see a lion, they're so lazy. They're just laying in the sun.
They're
So, like,
always
a D.
sleeping. Is it what?
Yeah. A D?
So squirrels are S. I can't wait to know your top of the list here. Tigers?
Tigers are basically lions, so D.
Are you just hot taking here? You really hate all these animals? The zoo must suck.
You really hate all these animals is what you just asked me?
I mean, you
I
have
don't
like
think I
B,
hate
C,
animals.
D. You talked about a goat for 15 minutes, and then you gave a tiger a D.
Well, I mean, it's a tiger. I mean, obviously they're very pretty animals, but I don't see them as being that friendly.
Hippo.
Oh, hippos are A because like I've watched a hippo. Look, hippos might be S. I'll tell you why. I saw a video of a hippo literally run into a river for the sole reason to simply attack a pride of lions solo. There was like 5 lions in the water trying to like cross the river, and this hippo's like, nope, get the hell out of my water. It just charged at the king of the jungle. Crazy. Hippos apparently are insanely aggressive. I'm all for it. S tier.
What about penguins? Where do you put penguins?
Penguins are pretty cool. I like how they cuddle and they waddle and stuff. I'd give them a good A.
Oh, good. Okay. I was about to end the podcast like right here. Okay, fair enough. There you go. There's Alex's zoo tier list, and most of mine, pretty much all those animals are up there. I think hippos kind of suck, actually, controversially.
What? Okay,
Yeah.
that's the hottest take. Why do hippos suck?
Just fat gray cows.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Special episode of the Snapchat, 52 episodes, 52 weeks, 1 full year of the Snapchat. And for 1 year running straight, I am joined by Mr. Alex Kocha, man. We made it. We did it. 52 weeks in a row, and this is our year anniversary, the beginning of season 2. 52 strong, and we start season 2. Here's to another year, man, and just happy anniversary to the Snapchat. Absolutely love it. December, man. You guys celebrate the holidays a lot over there?
Oh yeah. We're going pretty hard. The kids love it. I put up a 12-foot Santa right in front of my house. Massive.
Were you
massive Santa Claus.
bolting that down to the house? How do you keep that baby up? Inflatable? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's inflatable. It's one of those big Costco. It's Costco. It's a Costco inflatable Santa.
Okay. Here's a good question for you to get things going in December. Okay. If there was a Mount Rushmore, all right, a Mount Rushmore of Christmas songs, hit me with like a few of those like that are on there for the Alex list. Are you a Christmas like music guy?
You know what? I'm not like a huge Christmas song person, but I do love Feliz Navidad. I can listen to that song. It's just such a good spirited song. The one that I really hate is that Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart song, which is just so overplayed. I can't handle it. In fact, when I used to work retail years ago, I worked at basically a Best Buy, Canadian Best Buy. It was called Future Shop. And what I did was we had like a CD player that controlled all the music in the store, and I would sneak in there and I would put that song on repeat for hours and hours and hours until someone would notice and change it. But sometimes it would be like an 8-hour shift where that one song would repeat over and over again. No one would notice. That's how forgettable it is.
Hey, I hate you because literally it's on the Rushmore. There's no dude. Wham got the exclamation point from Last Christmas. I mean, Last Christmas is easily on the top 4, man. Maybe there's a divide. Like, maybe there's a divide. We'll have to find out from our viewers. But dude, Last Christmas has got to be on. My most hated is probably, and I didn't know I hated this song until like it was playing, and I was like, I kill it. Get rid. The 12 Days of Christmas. It drives me, dude. It drives me nuts. I can't do it. Can't do that one. What else is on there? What are your other like bangers?
I mean, I really like Silent Night is a nice one, but you got to be in the mood for that. Like, you just got to. It's a very somber song, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just hate that one song. Everything else is good. I'll listen to anything else.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree is a staple. We'll have to do like movies next week. Is a staple. The Christmas song, the chestnuts roasting. I mean, come on, that's like
I'm not even sure what song that is.
Chestnuts roasting over an open fire. You're pulling my leg. Come on, Jack Frost nipping at your nose.
Oh, okay. Is that Frank Sinatra?
So you hate Christmas. And live from Boston, as always, I'm joined by the one and only Mr. Alex Kocha. We're getting to see each other for the first time at three-dimensional space. I can confirm, guys, he is absolutely more of a dad than I thought. We had fans come up to us, and they were like, can you take a photo? And Alex like had it on the selfie mode, and he was like, oh, man. And then he smells like Costco. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I smell like Costco. I smell like the Costco hot dog I got.
The hot dog. Maybe like the pizza. Okay, I'll give you the pizza. Okay. Nice. Dude, this is awesome. Like, what? It's 73 plus weeks, talking to you almost every day of my life. And we get to see each other, like, finally.
I know, it's actually a surreal experience, and I bet you a lot of people online have a similar experience in the sense that, like, you know, in gaming, you make friends, you make long-lasting friends, and then like you might live across the world from each other, right? Yeah. And I think the first time you might experience this in like World of Warcraft, other games, and then for Cozy and I, it's like obviously Marvel Snap brought us together, our podcast brought us together, our content did, and it literally has been over 70 weeks where we talk literally on a regular basis, day to day. Do this. We've never missed a week. We've never missed a week.
We got something else. We got an announcement. We're pumped. It's been 2 years of Snapchat, doing it all the time. And finally, Alex and I are going to be co-hosting Marvel Snap Conquerors. It's going to be Maximum Effort edition. And I'm pumped, man. We've got, it's a song and dance. We've got creators. There's more specifics going to be announced on like the Marvel Snap official channels. You'll see it on ours as well. But Alex and I, this Friday, are casting. I am amped to essentially just take this. Like, we're just going to take this and go cast some Snap games, man. So through it all, I know that was long for some of you guys. For others, you could watch that all day. And, that's why we wanted to put it together. And Alex, man, cheers, man. I don't have, we should have had, man, when we had the spicy apple juice the other day, we should have had that here, now. That's when you do toast, is on celebrations. Like this one.
Yeah, we should have. Where is the spicy apple juice? I used to have a bottle with me, and then people were like, "Why is Alex drinking directly from a spicy apple juice bottle?" So I had to put it away.
You had to put it away.
It wasn't a good look.
Anyway, guys, we appreciate you guys hanging out today. Anti-Venom will be hitting the scene tomorrow, so look out for that. And Alex and I have a good week coming for you guys, content-wise, and then obviously here on the Snapchat. So thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out as always. And until the next one, guys, happy snapping to another 2 years.